Okay, so Dance With You. Dance With You was the first single that I released from my first album, Dedicated. And I'll never forget it because, you know, it was my first opportunity to release something, you know, majorly to the whole of England. You know, I just remember being so excited. Being in the studio, I went into the studio, Fitzgerald Scott and Craig Hardy are the two people that I wrote the song with. Fitz had just come off a plane and he was extremely tired. He was falling asleep in the session, you know, and he snores quite loudly. But when he did wake up eventually, you know, we wrote the song so quickly. We wrote the song in about an hour. You know, I voiced it in about an hour, and that was it. And we just knew immediately this, you know, this is a good one. I just remember being excited about everything. The video was done in Los Angeles. It was my first video. I just remember coming out to the set and just being overwhelmed at the amount of trucks and lorries and dancers, and I thought, this is for me. Wow. And yeah, it was a really good thing. I have good feelings attached with Dance With You. 50/50 is one of my favorites, I think. It was the second single that I released from my first album. I think that was one of my favorite videos. It was very colorful. It was, you know, it captured a set of people that you know, I wasn't sure whether they're going to connect with, but they connected with it quite regularly. And you know, I meet a lot of people as I go about, and majority of the people say, you know, that song that you did 50/50, you know, we like it. So yeah, that's a personal favorite. A lullaby. While I was in Fame Academy, I came up with the idea for that song. I remember I wrote the verse, and I was just about to start the chorus. But I've got a very kind of like R&B soul-y type vibe to me. So I went to a guy that I was in the house with, Ainsley Henderson, who's more indie, and I said, look, I've got this song, but I don't want it to end up being too R&B. So look, let's sit down and work on the chorus so that, you know, it gives it that little twist. And we came up with the finished song. And again, it's one that resonated with a lot of people, and a lot of people liked. So yeah, I like that song a lot. Another Day was the third single that I released from my first album. That was a lot of fun. I did not like doing that video, though. The video was me walking around in a lot of rain. And you see, one thing about the whole music business is you do learn things, you know? And I remember seeing on the script, you know, Lemar walks in rain, and rain comes down, and he's pouring out his heart to this lady. And I thought, you know what? That sounds cool. And in reality, I had to wear like a rubber swimsuit thing underneath these clothes. And it happened to be the one day in that month where it decided to be like -14 or something. And they were pouring water on me, and I had to have these hand warmers on, and they're pouring the water down. It's freezing, and they're being cut. And then they take me into the Winnebago to warm me up, and then it's, okay, we're ready again. And you come out, just cold again, and you go back in, it's warm, cold. So I was ill for about 3 days after that. The shoot was a good like 14 hours, 15 hours. So all through the night, while the temperature was just dropping, I was there, you know, in this kind of torture thing, cold, hot, you know. But a good video came out of it. I actually like the end product, so.